So I think it would be very fun to explore through an energy interaction how the reconnective healing frequencies support us or interact with us when we're exploring this idea of self-destructive behavior or bad habits. Let's go ahead and allow an energy interaction to show how this intelligence swoops in, how we receive it. Yeah.
And to notice what we discover as we let go of the how questions our minds want to ask,
Good.
and witness and observe the what. The what is taking place. So some of you might be familiar with how we begin this, and some of you are a little new. So for those of you who are new, let me explain and guide us into the beginning. I suggest we take our left hand, open the fingers in a way that it gently pulls at the skin and the muscles of your palm, and just notice what you feel in the palm of your left hand. Now hold your left hand still.
Okay.
Open the fingers of your right hand, allow that to stretch and pull the fingers of your right palm. And this time, bring the right hand up and down a little bit as if you're gliding through the atmosphere, up and down, up and down.
Already I can feel that vibration.
Right. We can feel it in our right hands. But for some of you who are new, this might be a bit of a surprise. Take your attention and place it into the center of your left palm. You might begin to notice that as you move with your right hand, the sensation in your left hand begins to also fluctuate and change. So stretch a little, pull a little, explore, and then as you do that...
My fingers are also moving on their own.
Are they beginning to do that? I love
Yeah.
when that happens.
It's like it's so dynamic.
Uh-huh.
It's much more than just frequency and vibration, right?
It's the beginning of an exploration into the interconnectedness and intraconnectedness of you, of who we are.
And yet there's no directing.
Right.
There's no specific, do this with my fingers or do that, right?
But there is an observation.
Yes.
And we tend to look at the hands because that's where we notice it more. Now my finger's moving. That's where we begin to notice it in the beginning. But for example, as I glide up and down, I also notice a feeling of a coolness, an actual coldness in my cheek a little bit. And that corresponds to movement in different ways with my hand. It's accompanied by a vibration. I can feel a little pulling, almost a little muscle tightness.
Yeah.
And then play with this a little bit. Rotate your right hand like I'm doing. As I do that, the movement, the sensation sort of shows up in my left ear. So where is it with you? What happens as you move and play? Where do you notice things?
You know, it's funny.
Where might you not be?
I have these two fingers buddy fingered right now because I've been having too much overextending on my computer and phone. And I haven't really had a lot of sensation in my ring finger or my pinky for a few days, and I can just feel them tingling and vibrating. Yeah, it's sensational.
Sensational. I love that word choice. Now, while we're in this state of observation of sensation, let's bring a visual into it. Maybe visualize a time that you noticed that you were caught up in repeating a behavior or thought pattern that you already knew didn't serve you. You may have experienced it before, decided you weren't going to do it again, you didn't like it, it wasn't the best thing to flow with, but you noticed it now while you were in it. And I mean, you were really in it in a way where you just did not know how to back up or back out. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Yeah. And really recently, when I lost my entire set of keys, I had everything on them to every important key and lock, and I can feel the tension just in the thought of that, but something is still causing me to sort of feel a smile again, almost like I'm not worried about what I should be worrying about.
Because you really, if we think about it, well, I'm going to throw this in anyway. There was one key that you didn't lose.
Yeah.
It's the one that we're playing with right now.
Right, good point.
Because as we observe that scene, be in it, in that scene, in that picture. And yet I want you to focus on the feeling of these frequencies, these sensations. Don't worry about what they should be or what you should be feeling. Whatever you feel and notice is perfect. Maybe stretch the feeling, explore with some of the rotations or the finger movements we played with a minute ago.
I heard the other day, even feeling nothing is feeling something.
Right.
It's an important reminder, but there is such an intensifying right now that I'm observing. And even as I think about, again, the loss, some of these keys are actually not even replaceable. One in particular. And I'm observing that loss, but I don't feel in this moment any anxiety about it. And that's really different for me right now.
Well, let's work with that just a little bit. So while you're playing, I know we might not like this concept, but let's try for a moment to increase that anger that you felt or that negative feeling that you felt. Increase it for a moment as you're playing with the frequencies. And I mean honestly increase it. I mean really try. Say, sometimes I remember I said to myself, all right, God, I don't know how I could feel any worse, any more anger than this. Just in case, just out of curiosity, how much worse can you make this? How much worse can I feel? And the funny thing is, when I do this, the harder I try, the less I can feel it. The more I look, the more these sensations seem to just disappear. So play with that for a moment. Challenge yourself to see if you can really increase it. And let us know. Let us know.
So the more I'm allowing myself to just receive every sensation, I'm observing it's moved down my legs, and yet at the same time, while my feet feel like they're being pulled into the ground, something is sort of moving through my ear canal at the same time. All of it is so playful. I'm trying to not just laugh, but it is a receiving, and it's just freedom. I feel a beautiful freedom.
When I'm really in this state, in this space, kind of, here, you can take a look. See my pinky on my left hand?
Huh.
It used to be that when I was teaching the training programs and my pinky would do that, people would say, should I hold my hand like that? And I would say, it's not about a should. If it goes there, it goes there. And it's the same with this. Where does our attention allow us to go?
I'm going to even take my hands out of the equation for a moment and just allow the sensations to move through me. I'm going to just allow my eyes to watch you. Well, I'm not watching you anymore.
Oh, well, I can do that.
That's okay.
I was going to stop moving my hands along with you.
Yeah, let's do that for a moment.
Good.
That's just.
So let our hands down and bring our awareness to any sensation within you that catches your attention. Any sensation anywhere.
Sometimes I even close my eyes for a moment because the frequencies are moving so beautifully, like a dance with something that just asked me to dance. I don't even know it, but I know it. So let's enjoy that. Play, feel, receive, receive.
I notice when I close my eyes, I feel something, and something inside of me wants to open them again.
Yes, me too. Just as you said that, it's almost like I don't want to miss anything.
It's learning to glide from the older concept of close your eyes so you can feel more, to realizing that we don't have to deprive ourselves of one sense to experience all of our senses at a greater level.
What we do know is this is a language, and while we can play and allow the frequencies to speak through the cells in our body and really distract the thinking mind in such a expansive way, it's a language. At each and every interaction, the language deepens, and some of it becomes innate, and some of it just becomes just the most exciting conversation you'll ever have. So I'm going to be in this conversation. I don't give a hoot where those keys are right at the moment.
Hoot.
Enjoy.
Hoot.
Yeah.
Like the wise old owl said, give a hoot or don't.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on this energy interaction